And let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein. So we should have known that eventually this was going to happen. That with all this talk about Epstein and the certain moron in the White House is trying to make sure that we all forget about Jeffrey Epstein because he thinks this is Men in Black. He thinks hold up that little, that metal dildo and it's going to flash all up in our eyes and we're going to forget about Jeffrey Epstein. Well, now it's only a matter of time before I thought this would have happened after the administration was pretty much done. No, a word on the curb is they're working on a Jeffrey Epstein series, and I got some thoughts. But first, let's get into the story. So, Sony Pictures TV, Laura Dern and Adam McKay are teaming up for a limited series about the investigation that blew open the Jeffrey Epstein case. Now, Perversion of Justice, now why does that sound like a Lifetime title? Perversion of Justice, the Jeffrey Epstein story, the New York Times best-selling book by investigative journalist Julie K. Brown, is in the works for television with Oscar, Emmy, and Golden Globe winner Laura attached to star and executive produce. Sony Pictures Television is hitting the market with the timely project. Well, Sony is owned by the Japanese, so that's probably why they're doing it. Because you ain't gonna see Amazon MGM make it, you ain't gonna see Paramount make it, or Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers just been acquired by the Ellisons. So you already know they're not touching it. Sony sounds about right. Because the Asians mad at Trump right now. So they said, yeah, so the series is going to also be produced by Adam McKay's Hyperobject Industries. The event series is described as an explosive account of an investigative reporter exposing the secret plea deal between Epstein and federal prosecutors. Drawing from Brown's experience as a groundbreaking reporter for the Miami Herald, the book and the limited series follows her relentless years-long investigation that identified 80 victims, persuaded key survivors to go on the record, and led to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's arrests. Sharon Hoffman, from Miss America House of Cards, penned the script. She and Eileen Myers, American Hostage Masters of Sex, will serve as co-showrunners and executive producers, with McKay, Kevin Messick, Brown, and Dern also serving as executive producers. Now, Brown, an investigative journalist with the Miami Herald, is best known for pursuing the sex trafficking story surrounding Jeffrey Epstein, who in 2008 was allowed to plead guilty to 2 state-level prostitution offenses. She received 2 George Polk Awards for justice reporting, along with other honors. Brown was also included in Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People of 2020. Donald Trump, who had well, he had a full-blown friendship. There ain't no damn social relationship. Has been dogged by the Epstein files throughout his second term in office. While Trump has never been charged with a crime in connection to Epstein, but he's been charged with 38 counts of felony counts for other things, including the grape of E. Jean Carroll that he likes to act like he didn't have anything to do with, and probably still owes her money, by the way. Yeah. While he's never been charged with a crime in connection to Epstein, their past ties have faced intense scrutiny. Now, the question remains: it's great and all that you're going to be doing this series, and even though I read the Epstein files and I'm already aware of a lot of the gory details of this, that, and the other. Do we need a series based around this? And I guess because a lot of y'all don't, and there's no shade, I'm just saying, a lot of people don't read. They maybe need it spelled out for them in the form of a TV series. So, or limited series. So it might be entertaining to watch. Now, I always have issue with bio series, biopics, whatever the case is, because it's like, how much y'all really going to dive deep into this conversation? And how much of the details are you actually going to expose regarding this whole situation? Are we going to bring other people that was allegedly in the files, redacted and unredacted? Are we really going to go there, or are we just going to focus on the book as the blueprint for what y'all going to talk about? Or are we just heavily going to focus on Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine, not the other celebrities that were mentioned in the files, including Donald Trump? So I guess to be on the safe side and not get sued, because that man loves to file a lawsuit, even when he know he guilty of sin in a lot of the suits. But the fact of the matter is, you have a lot of these studios, companies, whatever the case is, that puss out, because we've seen Disney do it when they had him dead to rights. There was no reason for him to sue them, but they gave him $15 million for him to go away. I'm like, why? You should have just fought it. Because this was bogus. But y'all gave the man money anyway, which lets his cult members believe, oh yeah, it's a witch hunt and fake news and all that stuff. Like, you play into it. The minute you give that man an inch, he takes a mile. So when y'all play into that, This is the result. So I feel like whoever's going to take this on, because they said Sony's going to do it. I feel like to be on the safe side, they're really not going to go too deep into the situation. You might get a little more in the book. I mean, it also depends on who's doing it, because I don't think they mentioned what streaming service, what network, what whatever is going to be producing. They said Sony. Sony is the only one that doesn't have a streaming service. They pretty much outsource a lot of their stuff to Paramount and Disney and or Hulu, not Disney. Well, Disney about to become, Hulu about to merge, but Hulu or Netflix, like they do their deals with other people. They're the only one that doesn't have a streaming service. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, whoever gets it, how much are they gonna allow them to be mentioned in the thing? And I guess maybe they're just gonna focus on the victims and Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein. So we'll see how much, I'll wait for a trailer to see how much they're or more information regardless on how deep they're going to go into the story. So I'm genuinely curious, but like I said before, I always tend to side eye biopics and bio movies or whatever the case is, biopics, bio series, whatever the case is, because we already seen like Ryan Murphy and what he does with things based on true stories. We already see people mad at him over what he did with Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, most recently Carolyn Bessette and JFK Jr. So, and now they talk about doing Julio. Oh, he's doing one on Lizzie Borden, but I guess because they're all dead, they can't speak on what happened. So they can pretty much do whatever and get away with it. And there was some other celebrity they told me they were going to be focusing on. I can't remember who, but so we'll see. But I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding this Jeffrey Epstein series? Is this something y'all going to be interested in wanting to check out? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.